Should you eat the donut? Hi, my name is Pickowicz, and I want to talk to you about having a balanced approach to your nutrition, eating food that you want and still seeing progress. Now, a lot of times when I'm talking to my clients or people on the internet about what the best approach to nutrition is, this is one of the questions. Now, maybe it's not specifically a donut, maybe it's a piece of pizza, maybe it's a piece of cake, maybe it's around the holiday season and you're thinking, oh, how do I balance this and still see progress? Whenever that question is brought up, there's three other questions that we really have to ask ourselves. And the reason why we have to make this a personal journey rather than just you taking my advice is because each one of us are different. And we're gonna have different points in our journey where it's appropriate to eat the donut. But before you dive in there, you have to ask yourself first off, who am I? Now, for me, I trained for a marathon, I've competed in bodybuilding. I can eat almost 3,000 calories and still lose weight so long as my training is in alignment. For me, the donut's not gonna throw me off, especially with where I'm at in my journey. But if you're on a more aggressive phase in your approach, or if you're in a position where you're trying to lose weight maybe for a wedding or something of the like, then maybe it's not appropriate for you to eat that donut if you know it's going to throw you over your calorie limit for the day. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't eat a donut. If you can make it fit into your macros for the day, then that's even better, but we're gonna approach that another time. Now, the other part of who is, what is your relationship like with food? If you're in a position where you have a poor relationship with food and having that donut is going to make it so you don't binge and don't feel restricted, then you should absolutely have the donut, because one donut, I'm gonna do some math here, one donut is roughly 300 calories, depending on which one you get. The usual one at Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme is about 300 calories. If you're a normal person, most people, just from the standard point of body weight, training, and age, most people can consume anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 calories and still lose weight. Now, obviously, it's going to be completely subjective on where you're at, but we'll just play like a ballpark estimate for now. If you are looking at, though, 300 calories of 1,500 calories or 2,000 calories, you still have 1,200 calories and you still have 1,700 calories to make up for the day. One donut is not going to throw you off. And so the first part of who is, what are my goals? What do I want? How does this align for me? And what's my relationship like with food? And if you can establish that, then you can move on to the what. What is motivating me to have this donut? What is motivating me to have this food? Am I feeling restricted? And so I know that I'm really craving something sweet, and sometimes we get to this position where because we think that we can't have food, it sounds more enticing. I always think it's interesting when people are like, hey, you know, pizza is my weakness. And they put so much value on pizza. They're like, oh my God, that one food has so much power over me. But the truth is, establishing it as just food, as calories, protein, carbs, and fats, removes that aspect of it. So you can look at, okay, what's triggering me to want this food? Am I motivated because I'm around other people? Is it the holidays? Is it just me having a craving for this food? And also, what is my goal? So for you, if you're a competitive athlete, maybe the donut's not best. Or if you're on an aggressive fat loss phase, maybe it's not in complete alignment. But if you're just trying to live a balanced life and be healthy and lose weight, you got to fall back to this equation. What does it actually look like? And how many other calories do you have throughout the day? Because your calories are going to matter more than anything else. For 99% of the population, and I would actually back that up as a real statistic, not just throwing out like 99%. It's not like I'm sitting here with like the Lysol spray. It's like 99.9% of all bacteria is taken care of. I really mean that for most people, just being in a calorie deficit, moving their body is going to make the world of difference when it comes to actually seeing weight loss. So looking at that approach of what's my goal? Am I living a balanced life? Is this important to me? What do I want right now, and is it going to fit into this journey? And that's really going to lead us to this last question. Where am I at in my journey? Am I just starting day one? If you're just starting day one and you're just getting to the point where you're trying to change and eat healthier foods, that's going to fall back to who? Are you a person who has a good relationship with food and you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to commit to this? Then maybe you don't do the donut. Maybe that's not appropriate for you. But if you're starting off on day one, and you know, like, hey, I have a poor relationship with food, then it's worth adding in the donut. I have a client right now who has been making massive shifts in his life, and he's down almost 20 pounds. But one of the things that we used to talk about when we first started working together was how he had this really poor relationship with food. He always would eat chicken and broccoli, restrict, and he'd end up falling off the wagon. So I was like, why don't we put in some food that you enjoy to your diet so it's not that restrictive for you? I asked him what he liked. He liked Raisin Bran Crunch. We add 2 bowls of Raisin Bran Crunch every single day. I have another client who's eating chocolate every day. That's not everyone, but it's really about self-awareness and where you are at your journey. Now, for me, I might also approach it based on the day. So let's say that this is the beginning of the day. All right, so if I gotta be here and this is my calories for the day, like this is where I'm gonna end. Now, obviously it's probably gonna go up, but let's say this is like starting. I haven't eaten anything. All right, well, so maybe I add that 300 calories. That might be worth it. But maybe I'm like at the end of my day and I know if I eat 200 more calories, I'm gonna be at my limit. Is it worth it? Is it appropriate for that point in my journey? So it's really having the understanding of where you're at and where you want to continue to go. Because once you establish who you are, once you establish what you want, and once you understand where this journey is going, it's really easy for you to have your own balanced approach, for you to adapt this for your lifestyle, your goals. And the truth is, if you are on point 85% of the time, 90% of the time, one donut is not going to throw you off. One piece of pizza is not going to ruin your day. Eating your grandma's pie at the holidays, like I would love to be doing, and I'm going to be doing around Christmas when I go home, those things are perfectly in alignment and you don't have to worry. So don't let one stupid donut ruin your day. Don't let one single piece of food make you feel like you failed. And more importantly, don't judge yourself. Just step back, realize that food is okay, there's nothing to be afraid of, and when you break down that barrier and you stop putting all this value on food and you just see it as what it is, then you can have a relationship that works for you, creates abundance with your nutrition, and it's something that you can enjoy long term. So hope you love this video. If you do, comment below, what's the one food that you're the most excited to add to your diet, or the one thing that you can't live without? For me, it's buffalo chicken pizza. I know Lindsay and I will go crazy whenever we have the opportunity to eat buffalo chicken pizza, and it's good. And also I have like a weekly frozen yogurt retreat with my lovely fiance who's behind the camera, and we go hard in the paint. Like, I'm all about adding cheesecake. I'm all about the amazing flavors. I'm not a big vanilla and chocolate fan. Having that balance of getting like the other flavors, that's what I'm all about. So those are my foods. I want to hear what your foods are. But if you love this video, give it a like, give it a share, comment, and share this video with someone that you know will find it valuable. But thank you for tuning in, and just remember to continue to shine on and be a light. I'll see you.